Everybody knows the truth. Government is so wasteful. It's amazing what people do with money when it's coming from somebody else. Imagine if your taxpayer dollars were going to pay for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs like equity-based preschool yoga, or health care for dead people, or Medicaid for people living in a mansion. Unfortunately, you don't have to imagine it. Those are real examples of waste that my office, the Office of the State Auditor, has identified. And how much has that hurt taxpayers? In the last 5 years, my team has uncovered more than $300 million of recurring waste in state government. Here's how. We comb through financial documents, we use advanced software to analyze expenditures, we interview state employees, and what have we found? Analysts in my office use new big data techniques to identify over $600,000 in Medicaid funds being spent on citizens who had died but still remained on the Medicaid rolls. We found that in any given year, between 5 to 7% of people on Medicaid rolls seem to make too much money to qualify for the program. That ends up totaling anywhere from $60 to $140 million every year in taxpayer dollars spent on those folks. Mississippi spends over $340,000 every year to pay for state-issued employee cell phones that are never turned on. We found that state government buys a ton of cars, and simply by eliminating underutilized vehicles, taxpayers could save an extra $13 million. My office has released a report that showed we've spent over $11 million on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, in the last 4 years to our universities. We also did an analysis that found that there were over 22,000 illegal immigrants currently living in Mississippi. And when you add up the cost to educate them, to provide health care to them and to their children, to incarcerate them, it costs taxpayers over $100 million annually. Let's talk about K-12 education too. Mississippi spends a higher percentage of its public school money on administrative spending than every other state in the South, and less money that actually goes inside the classroom than the national average. It makes no sense to me how we still have the lowest paid teachers in the country, and we have teachers buying their own classroom supplies. But we have school administrators making more money than the governor. And when you add up all that waste, you get a big pile of money. What would happen if we put that money to good use instead of it going down the drain? Well, $300 million could pay for the largest teacher pay raise in state history. It could hire 4,000 new police officers to help fight against crime. It could pay for hundreds of miles worth of road and bridge repairs. Or we could give it back to the taxpayers as a tax cut. The point is, if we take all these examples of waste and put them to the things that matter, it would make a huge difference for taxpayers and for our economy. As long as you, the voters, keep me in this job, I will continue identifying waste in state government. Now, as auditor, I can't fix these programs, but we will keep shining a spotlight on all the waste that we can find.